I'm recording.
Nice, nice. So welcome back everyone to another AMA. We have actually some exciting new updates regarding the mobile game and stuff. So I'm pretty excited to get this one rolling. So how we're going to be rolling this out is first we're going to be doing some announcements, particularly to the mobile game as well as some other things regarding the ambassadors and stuff like that. And then we're going to be doing some updates and then we can answer any questions if and the audience has any. Again, raise your hand if you guys do want to ask a question. We're going to be saving those until the end. Or if you're too shy, you don't want to come up, you can go ahead and post in the AMA questions channel. Yeah, so just a reminder, we do have our Glean contest. It is still live. We're halfway through the month now, so you guys do still have a decent amount of time to get inside there, win some awesome prizes. I know we have some whitelist spots, and we do have again USDC up for grabs. So just a reminder on that. Closer to the end of the month, we'll also be announcing a new contest for the month of January. But of course, as the time gets closer, we'll announce that. This one, of course, is just focused on Facebook. We're generally going to be focused on Facebook for the most part, moving forward. But of course, we'll get to that when the time comes. And yeah, so the main topic for today will be the demo for the user interface, basically for the mobile game. I guess you could say the main screen that'll be loading, right? The start menu, basically when you first get inside a game, right? So all of these little things regarding the mobile game. I know last week, I mean the week before that, we previewed a little bit of the mobile game. So this time we're just going to be showing some things up on the user interface side of things. So yeah, that's it on my end. Alexander, if you want to go ahead and kick off
hmm
the next segment.
Yeah, for sure. Before I do, wanted to remind people to go check out the Sneak Peeks channel. This is where we share everything that we have up to date as far as gameplay and graphics and NFTs and what have you surrounding the game. And if you take a look in there from the last two AMAs we did, we showed the sneak peek of the actual gameplay as well as the first of our special edition Kite Club NFT designs. It's a current concept design that we're working on. But then if you go to the latest post, this is what I'm about to demo. Because this is in stages, I should say we're hosting the AMA in a stage. We can't screen share, but if you want to get an idea of what I'm going over, you can take a look at all the various screens I shared in there. Or you can, of course, watch the video of this once it's published. That will have the full walkthrough demo that I'm about to go through. And before I do get into that, since that'll probably take up the majority of the AMA today, I wanted to also remind the audience that we are still looking for ambassadors to join us. So if you are a kite fighter or if you're a mobile gamer like a Twitch streamer, we we have a special program to work with influencers and content creators in these niches, and pretty cool sort of partnership and incentive program where you'll effectively be a team captain of some social challenges, get your own special edition kite NFT, as you can see here from this concept, and then uh, get profit share on all of the sales of your special edition kite. So if you have any interest or if you know anybody who would fit the bill, please reach out to us and we'd be happy to talk to you about get you into the ambassador program for Kite Club. So with that out of the way, I'll go ahead and jump into the demo. And guys, while I'm going over this, I know since we don't have a huge audience this morning, if you have any questions that come to mind, uh, you guys can be my audience asking me anything. So let me go ahead and pull up. There we go. So Again, if you're just sitting in the stage, you won't be able to see it. So head on over to the Sneak Peeks channel. But I've got the UI demo pulled up, and we are on the initial landing screen when you would open the app. Of course, it's going to be in portrait mode, as is normal for people to hold their phones. Um, but everything in the play loop, so once you start to enter the game, will all be in landscape, and you'll see why here in a second. But from the main screen, you can click through, and we can see here that how we can select the different sections of the game from the dashboard, where you'll be able to update your user profile. You'll be able to uh, check your rewards, claim them, and build your Gen 1 kites with the rewards that you get. Play, obviously, can drops you right into playing the game. Kite Market, this is where you'll be able to purchase in-game kites, the non-NFT kites, as well as the secondary market for all NFT kites and components to build your own kites. And then settings is pretty straightforward. But for today's purposes, we'll just be going through the play user flow. So with that selected, we'll go in here, and it brings us to the same layout, or I should say the landscape layout. And you will be able to select your kites from your inventory. Right here, we show uh, only the NFT kites, but the obviously the non-NFT in-game kites will be available here too, with a different look, so you'll be able to identify them. Uh, and then you'll see these little modules on either side that slide out to give you more information. So on the right, you have the kite stats that tell you all of the specifications of your kite. The At the top, you have the what components they're made of, so shape, skin, line, spars, and which generation. And below that, you have the uh, characteristics of the kite, so speed, maneuverability, line durability, and reward multiplier.
Just jump in, Alexander, and say if anyone's just joined us, if you would like to see what's going on, head over to the Sneak Peeks chat if you can't see what's currently going on.
Yeah, thank you for reminding about that. And I'll let you guys, if you guys do see anybody else jump in to the stage, go ahead and throw that reminder out again, since I'm not focused on that at the moment. So on the left, you have the filters area where you can select viewing all kites. You can view your standard kites, and then you can also view your collection of NFT kites. And at the bottom there, you'd be able to switch over to the kite market if you don't feel like playing with any of the ones you currently have in your inventory and want to add something new there. But I'll show you real quick what it's like if you wanted to filter through the kites that you have available on the screen. So click any of the uh, different selections here in the drop down below the section you're looking at. So we're looking at NFT kites, and here pulls up a screen that allows us to set the parameters that we want to filter. So by default, all of them will be selected to all, but here we show that if we wanted to see the kite shape of a Brazilian pipa kite, or if we wanted to switch the skin and select polyester, we've got all the different variables here to select from. You never have to exit this screen. You can go through one by one and update all of the parameters in one screen and select them. But if you wanted to go back in and select, say, skin as opposed to shape, you can click on that and it'll drop you right back into that section highlighted once you go to your filters. A couple other things to note on this screen. You will be able to both swipe through your collection of kites, or you can just hit the arrows on either side and it'll step you through. So now moving on to once we have selected the kite that we want to play with, it brings up our mode screen. So default mode is going to be practice, and then you can also do PvP where you'll be able to play with another real person in your region. We're also discussing adding an option in here for free flying, where you can go into a game mode where it's only you flying your kite, and that way you can start to get the feel for the different kites, since they'll all have different characteristics to how they fly, and also there's going to be different, wind conditions. It's a good way to get the feel for it without immediately being dropped into a fight with either the computer or another player. So that will be added here. Now let's select PvP and I'll show you what that looks like. So when you select that, it's going to take a minute to find you an opponent. And then once it does, drops you into the first screen in game, showing you the matchup. So you're always on the left, you've got your opponent on the right, a countdown timer of when you are launching, as well as a loading screen or loading bar. And then once it's finished loading, you have kind of we took our inspiration from Street Fighter here of what the head-to-head UI looks like. So you've got both of your avatars here. You will be able to use just the standard avatar. If you don't load anything, you could upload an image of yourself, or you'll also be able to upload a profile picture NFT that we'll be releasing a little down the road. You also see here there's little markers for battles won. It's set up to be best 2 out of 3. So because the gameplay can happen pretty quickly, we want to make sure that it's not you just jump in there, get your string cut, and then you're back out to the lobby to set up another game. In this case, we've got best 2 out of 3, allows you to play an opponent for a few minutes as opposed to a few seconds. And then let me show you about the controls on screen. So I'm going to go back real quick.
And I'll jump in again, Alexander, and just remind anyone who's joining us is to check out Sneak Peeks, the pictures that Alexander's referring to right now.
Yep.
The Sneak Peeks channel.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, if you're joining us, I can't share my screen in stages, but if you want to see me go over this in real time, check out the video of the AMA once it launches. But for now, yeah, head on over to Sneak Peeks, and we've got all of the screen captures there of what I'm going over currently. And with that said, I am currently on slide 8, the one where you actually see gameplay, if you want to follow along. So in the upper left corner of the screen, you see an arrow and a graphic representation of a kite. This shows you both the wind speed and direction in relation to where you're standing and looking at your kite. So you can always get a feel for how the forces of the wind are acting on your kite. And the length at which or I should say the height at which the kite icon that you see there is displayed shows you how far in or out your line is. So we go into the next screen, you see it goes out. And so this represents if your string is all the way out and there's no more string left to go. Just under that, you have the slider, which is vertical only. This is the input that allows you to let string out or reel it back in. So if you have it all the way up at the top, it's going to be letting out as fast as possible. If you were to have it at the midpoint, then it's basically going to stay steady. If you have it all the way at the bottom, it's going to be bringing the line back in as fast as possible. On the right, we have the directional pad. So this allows you to control what direction your kite's flying in. And so the combination of these two gives you a really natural uh, uh, interaction with the kite like you would experience in the real life. At least as close as we can get with playing with two thumbs as opposed to, your whole body. And then last thing I'll show here is the in-game pause menu. So hitting that icon at the upper right hand side of the screen will pause the game. This will pause for both players on either side. We're discussing having a countdown, so I couldn't just pause on you and then walk away and you're stuck without the ability to finish or exit the game. So probably be on a timer of some sort. And then I'll go through the options real quick, and then we can take some questions or have a quick discussion about it. So top option is our what we're going to do with the game that we're currently playing, if we want to resume or if we want to exit. Oh, just exited the... oh, that button's broken. All right. I thought I had fixed all the bugs, but that's okay. So you can select exit. This will bring you back out to your kite selection screen to start a new game. We've got sound, so this controls both sound effects in game, like wind or the sound of the kite swooping or the line getting cut. So the environmental sounds, you can turn them on or off or adjust the volume. Same thing for music. Controls, you have default, which is line length on the left, directional pad on the right, or you can reverse them. And then we have vibration, so those haptic inputs when, let's say, your line is contacted or cut, you'll get vibrational feedback on that. You can turn on or off. And then back into the game, and that pretty much covers the UI prototype that we've got currently in the works.
I should add at this point, this is in works. So there's still improvements to be made. The graphics will be more in depth. Obviously, there's more than just the one background we're showing here.
Correct.
Just want to be transparent with everyone out there and show the progress that we're making. Very proud of the wind direction, how it affects the kites, the length of the string, the controls. Everything's much more, what's the word I'm looking for? Kite fighting-esque than it is just tapping scrolling. So we'll continue to make the improvements. We'll continue to give you the updates as they come out. We're looking to post a demo video mid next week. We're going to try to get that on the Sneak Peeks channel if we can, and we will have it on Facebook as well. We'll keep you guys updated as progress. We are currently, unbelievably, for a gaming studio, we are on track for the release date of January 15th, but still tentative. Like anything in production, it could change, but we aim to be out January 15th, and we're still on track for that. So that's the current updates from the development side as well.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you for that. So, yeah, let's see if we've got any questions. I know we've only got a handful of people in the audience currently. But anybody, even those on our team, if you have any questions, which I'm sure you probably already know the answers to, but think that our audience might want to know, let's hear it. Um, I know that Comp Space has his hand raised. If you wanted to jump in and ask a question real quick.
Yeah, we can bring him up. We just invited him if you want to come up to speak. If not, just AMA questions channel.
Hello,
Hello,
Hey.
my friend.
can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
So, as I'm from India, right? Some of you guys might know I'm from India. So, kite fighting is a big like festival in India type of. So, I wanted to ask like, are you guys like, do you guys have anything planned for a like a role? So, I don't know the word for it. It's like in India we call it chakri. Like obviously you have a line for flying the kite, right?
Yeah.
So that line is like rolled on a like type of a roll, okay?
Mm.
And that is called chakri in India, or it can be called like thread roller or something.
Yes, like a
And
string,
so
if you will, or a kite
yeah,
line.
just yeah, string roller type. Like once you have in what do you call it? The fishing poles,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
fishing poles.
we'd call it a spool, I think.
Oh, okay, spool of string, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like there are different types of spool in India. This is just like what do you call it, a suggestion. Like obviously you're gonna add many kites with different type of strings, different type of speed, and right. So I'm just giving like a suggestion. You can also add different types of spool which can handle like the speed, how fast your string goes out or how fast your string rolls back.
Yeah, that's a really great idea. I know that we've really just been focusing on a few different uh, components of the kite to affect the how it functions, but I think that that's a really solid suggestion that we can bring back to our development team and see how we could incorporate that, if not in the uh, initial version
Yeah,
of it.
it can come in future updates also.
Hmm. For sure. Yeah, thank you for that suggestion. That's really uh, helpful suggestion.
No problem.
Helpful. We'll
Thank
bring
you.
that to development. We are operating with different types of strings right now as well, so there'll be different strengths and all that kind of good stuff as well. But good to know in the spool. So thank you for the info, Comp.
No problem. Yeah, there are like I am obviously Indian and I am like a teenager, so my whole childhood has been like kite flying only outside the house. So so it's like here also we have different types of strings. Uh,
Hmm.
it's like a very long topic honestly because there are so many things to cover. But yeah, I'll give you guys my input whenever possible.
Please do. I think you'll be impressed with some of the things we have come in here. I think we'll be one of the first kite fighting games with different kites, different strings, different speeds affecting the string. And from the kite flying I've done myself and the cuts I have all over my hands, I'm very aware of how the strings can be. They can be easy to cut, they can be.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you've got cuts all over your hands as well. A couple of
Oh
scars, I'm
yeah.
sure.
Yep.
So we're trying to make it a good balance between being gamified for everybody, but so the kite fighters enjoy it too, and they're happy to play it. They're happy to show their friends they're proud of this game. So that's the balance we've been trying to work on right now.
Hmm. Yeah, there has to be an authenticity to the game. If you are a kite fighter, if you have any experience with it, you don't play it and think it's garbage. It's that it actually is true to the real life activity.
Right.
Yeah, I understand that.
Hmm. Quick question for you, Comp. Since we're kind of trying to get a feel for uh, the sport in different regions, and we're quickly discovering that quite a few areas of the world have outlawed kite fighting because of the danger of getting cut by strings or things like that. Is it legal in your area?
In India, it's like it's pretty much legal. It doesn't matter. Everyone's flying kites. In India, pretty much everything's legal. There's no such, like, the law is not as strict as USA.
Oh, okay. Because I know we were talking with somebody in Pakistan not too long ago,
Oh,
and it's completely illegal to kite fight in Pakistan.
what?
Uh,
No, it was just the region he was in
oh,
was
okay.
illegal.
I guess it was not the entire country, but just the
Yeah,
region.
it will probably be his city or something, because Pakistan was a part of India before 1947.
Correct. Yeah.
So like I am pretty sure there are like many, like technically Pakistan and India are two different countries,
Mhm.
but they share the same ancestors. So I
Oh,
know for a fact that kite flying is a sports over there also.
oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely very popular. I just know that some places
Probably
are
in one of
starting to ban a
the
lot.
probably in one of the danger areas, because obviously like I won't go into politics because I don't know if I'm allowed to or not. But there are some regions which are like bit of a danger zone in Pakistan,
Mhm.
like some high crime areas or high like basically there are some type of areas in US where you can't fly drone, no,
Yeah, exactly.
because you don't want to give info. That's like with kites, people can tie up small cameras and all,
Hmm.
probably because of that.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about the aspect of combining it with a camera. The
Yeah, there are many things happening over here.
interesting.
But yeah,
So,
you can
well,
always like hit me up on my text if you need any
Mhm.
input from my culture.
Yeah,
are you excited about what you see in the game so far?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Pretty excited to get my hands on it.
hmm,
Shouldn't be too long now.
yeah. And you
Yeah.
also do some Twitch streaming, is that right?
Yeah, I do.
All right, great. Well, we would love to get it in your hands as quickly as possible so you can test it out and maybe show your audience what we're working on.
For sure.
Awesome.
I can show the Indian audience all over YouTube and Twitch.
We look very much forward to doing that. Yes. Well, thank you for your help and any input, please. We want it to be as authentic as possible.
For sure, for sure.
Great. So
All right.
let's see. Do we have any other questions come through that you guys saw?
No, that seems to be the only one.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's been a good update today, and we'll continue to give you guys updates in the sneak peek area.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's starting to get moving now. All the sneak peeks.
Yeah. It's always there's a lot of work getting done for a long time that you can't share, and then all of a sudden, the last couple of months before you release something, it's just a tidal wave of development um, and demos. So
Yeah.
glad to finally be at the point where we can start showing off all our hard work.
Yeah, so Alex,
Yes.
I have put a picture in AMA questions. So that is what like
Mm.
generally spools look like in India
Hmm.
for kite flying.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
and
have
those
to.
are obviously the different type of strings.
Right. All right, we'll have to get back with you and get some ideas of how to incorporate that and maybe some different
Oh, I have
variations
an idea. I
to the
have an
spools.
idea. I'll for sure.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Well, yeah. Thanks for hopping in. You really added a nice uh, uh, component to the chat here, comp. So appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Hmm. All right, guys. Well,
All right.
I guess we'll go ahead and close this up. Do you want to take us out, Stefan?
Yeah. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. We're always excited to be sharing these updates as we receive them, of course. And yeah, like Bill said, we're actually on track so far, quote unquote. Don't quote us on it, but to release tentatively in the month. So pretty excited for that. So just be on the lookout. Because as we get closer, of course, to the release date, we'll be releasing even more and more sneak peeks for you guys to look at. So again, we appreciate all the feedback, of course. Com shared us some pretty valuable insight. So again, if you guys have anything else, just feel free to share it in the AMA questions chat. We can check it out for our next AMA. We'll be having that in 2 weeks. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys.
Yep. Thanks,
You
everybody.
done? Thank you, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks.